Alright YouTube, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm bringing you my deck profile on Altergeist from this weekend. So on the Saturday I played in a 37 man NCG tournament. It was 6 rounds and I came ninth in that tournament. It wasn't too bad, you know, it was quite good. It was my first major remote duel with a big crowd back since obviously lockdown happened. Then remote duel invitational on Sunday. It was 47 player tournament, 6 rounds, and I came 20th, you know, middle of the pack. But in the bright side, top 32 is still an achievement. And so I'll just tell you my matches and then we'll get right into the deck profile. So on the Saturday I played against Guru Dragoon. I 2-0'd that. I lost to Virtual World, which was 2-0 to him. I beat Dragonlink 2-1. Beat Pure Zoo 2-0. I beat Drytron 2-1. And I lost to Oliver Newton, a well-known British Yu-Gi-Oh player. And he was piloting Zoo Outrage. On the Sunday, I played against Zombies. I 2-0'd that. You can actually see Game 2, where I do a couple of mistakes and stuff, where I try to go for a one-punch access code talker, and then get punished with a Vampire Thrall line. So it was quite a good match to watch and stuff, so you can actually go see that on Farf's stream if you go watch this Sunday one. It was round 1. Then I went to play Dogmatica Invoked. I 2-0'd him. Played first Dragon Link of the day where I got beat 2-1, and I played Dragon Link straight after and I beat that 2-1. Then I went on a losing streak and I got beat off of Orchest and Volkswagen, which was piloted by Harrison Hansen, I think he's called. He's a World's Point competitor and stuff, so not too bad. It was quite a high caliber weekend and stuff. There was a lot of really good players. So yeah, this was my first like real YCS-esque tournament setting and stuff. So yep, a lot of learning that was done this weekend. So yeah, I really enjoyed it and stuff, and I feel like moving on, I'm maybe a better player. I'm probably not, but maybe I'm still a wee bit stubborn and stuff. So yep, we'll just dive right into the deck profile. So first things first, free Altergeist Multifaker has to be played at free. She was absolutely amazing. I had her this much this weekend that at most of the games I was actually running extremely low on resources. That's how well Multifaker did this weekend. Then next up we play free Meloseek. Send effects, superb for hindering back row and stuff. And with one of the main decked cards, that removal ability was absolutely broken this weekend. So highly recommend playing free still. Then Marionetta got me so much advantage. The bringing back effect, which I had to explain a bunch of times as well, and also the setting the trap to get more advantage. Then we played 2 Silkadus. Silkadus was really good, and the 1 Kunkeri to round up the Altergeist monsters. Then the hand trap lineup, it's very very simple. We play 3 Ash Blossoms and 3 Infinite Impermanencies. So I'll be honest with you, Infinite Impermanencies did absolutely nothing this entire weekend. Do I think it's worth main decking it for the chance to be able to multi-faker Impermanence on turn 1? Yeah, it's still worth it. That's still an amazing combo and stuff, but I just wish that we could actually get something a little bit more, I don't know, a bit more relevant. But that's the thing with Infinite Impermanence, it comes in and out of the meta and stuff, just depending on the relevancy of some decks. But I was stubborn and decided to keep on playing it instead of maining the Drolls. But Drolls, as I told you for the entire weekend, didn't really come into play apart from once. Now we'll move on to the spells. 3 Pot of Prosperity. So this entire weekend I've been asked, is Pot of Prosperity better than Extravagance? I'm still on the fence, if I'm being honest. Game 2 and 3 Pot of Prosperity is absolutely amazing. It's a game changer. The amount of times that you can find your side deck is unreal. But game 1, I still think Pot of Extravagance is better. If my side deck wasn't so tight, then I may have actually played Extravagance for game 1 and then sided that out for the Prosperities. That's my theory on it. So Would I advise you to buy your Pot of Prosperities at the price that they are currently? I'd probably say no, if I'm being totally honest. Just for Geist, if I'm being totally honest, I'd say just buy Extravagance. Extravagance cheaper, it's better in some cases. So yep, that's my 2 cents on it. But I think I'm going to keep on playing the Prosperities just because I want to test it a lot more. I also play 2 Pot of Dualities. It was quite decent, you know. When you get a bad mill off the Prosperity, it's always good to be able to have the duality there to try and pick up something else. Moving on to the Altergeist traps, we play 2 Manifestation, 1 Protocol. Manifestation was unreal this weekend, and I think it was about 6 times, and I had to explain to a judge the effect of manifestation to banish, to actually add another Altergeist trap from the graveyard to the hand. So having Silkidus go to the graveyard to pick up Protocol, and then banishing 1 manifestation to add back the second manifestation really came in handy, just to gain like a lot of value. Then we play 3 Personal Spoofing. So this is the card I'm on the fence about now. The theory for me is, with having Pot of Prosperity, does this make Personal Spoofing irrelevant? You know, I'll be honest with you, Personal Spoofing didn't really help me at all this weekend. I think I used it more for the flip more than actually for its effect, just to trigger Faker. That's the only thing. So I may actually think about taking it down to 2 and adding maybe another Protocol or something, because Protocol's absolutely superb. Now for my 2-ofs, I play 2 Torrential Tribute. Torrential Tribute put in a lot of legwork this weekend. I wanted to play it at 3, but I decided just to play it at 2, just because we have the Pot of Prosperity, we've got Duality as well, so we're milling through our deck and excavating quite a lot to actually search and pick out what we want. Then I also main deck 2 Anti-Spell Fragrance. This card honestly was MVP the entire tournament for me. For me personally, it held up so many decks. I didn't see it against the zombie deck, but actually I did see it game 1 and it really did help. But against Dogmatic I invoked. Against Dragonlink, weirdly, it was really good. I think my opponent just bricked on what they had, and I had Ash Blossom or Impermanence to Faker or something. I can't really remember at all. There was that many games going on. But definitely, Anti-Spell Fragrance is got to be main decked for me. It's superb. Highly recommend testing it out. Then I played 2 Rivalry of the Warlords. It was decent, you know. It really helped a lot against a lot of decks. You know, Drytron really couldn't play through it. It slowed down VW. Didn't stop me losing the 2 games 2-0, but it slowed them down just a little tiny bit, because the wind monsters are different from the earth monsters and stuff. So he could only play like half of his cards and stuff. So it was too bad. But yep. Now we'll move on to the 2 Old Men Say No and Solemn Judgment, and then some more Old Men Say No at Solemn Strike and Imperial Order. Imperial Order was extremely good. I was just fearful of Lightning Storm, fearful of Harpy's Feather Duster and stuff, and with only playing the 5 spell cards, it doesn't really bother us. So that was the main deck. Changes, as I said, would be Personal Spoofing, maybe take out the rivalries to put them into the side. But yeah, overall quite happy with the main deck. On to the extra deck. We play 2 Link Karibo. Moving forward, I think I might just put Link Karibo to 1. I never ever used the second one. It was pointless, and if I'd already made the first one, I'd always recycle it, because I would always banish the second one off of the Prosperity anyway, so it didn't really matter. Then we also played the 1 Artemis. Artemis was decent. She wasn't amazing, you know, just to try and recycle. I felt like she was a wee bit better than what Almirage was, because I had to rely on your normal summon and stuff, just so if I had the Silkidus, I could link into her recycle and stuff. So it was okay. I think if you're playing Dogmatica Altergeist, definitely Artemis is hands down the best Link one. Then I played the one Relinquished Anima. Never all came up. Everyone seemed to avoid the extra monster zones, which is fair enough. So I think I only Artemis once, and it was against the Dogmatic Invoke player because he put up Artemis onto the field, and I just went underneath her Link arrow and sucked it up. So onto the Link 2s. So Altergeist, Hextia. Definitely the best extra deck card for Altergeist. Can not say anything better on that. I played one Prime Banshee, only ever used Prime Banshee once, which I was absolutely dominating the game, so I think it was a Marionetter underneath it. So that way, that if my opponent had Faker in hand, I had a Silken Grave, I had a set Manifestation, and if my opponent was going to do anything, I was going to tag out the Marionetter to go into a Conqueror to get the extra gate on the field. So yeah, it was quite decent. I would definitely still main one because it helps with the recyclability. And then I played the one Era, the Water Charmer. It gets our Milliseek into the grave. It helps us summon out our opponent's Needle Fibre to get an access code talker a lot easier. So yeah, I just felt like she was generically very good and stuff. I played the one in Gearsu, just for non-target removal for like Dragoon and stuff like that. I think I'm going to try and find a way that's a wee bit easier to out Dragoon, because theoretically having 2+ Link monsters for Ingirsu is like extremely hard to actually do versus a Guru, especially when the Guru just burns and destroys your resources while they're on the field, and then he gets in the gate as well. So if a good player with a Guru in the gate is actually like able to understand what we're trying to do, they'll definitely not let you be able to do it. Then we played the one Celine as well. She was quite decent. To be honest, I think I only used Celine's summon effect once, because out of all the games there wasn't a lot of spell heavy decks. It was mostly all combo and stuff, so yep, would still play her. But and then the one access code talker, as I said, I tried to one punch my zombie opponent and it didn't really pay off, and that was the only time the entire tournament summoned access code talker. I was a lot more conservative the entire tournament, just because I didn't want to be caught off guard again. Then finally I played the one in Tis to go against obviously the Dogmatica opponents, and also the one Mechaba and Cyber Dragon Nova as well for winner of my opponent Maximus. On the Sunday, when it was the only game that I played against the Dogmatica Invoked player, I used Pot of Prosperity. I was going turn 1, and then he dropped Maximus on his turn, and I'd banished Nova, I'd banished Intest and Mechaba off of Prosperity, and that was the only time the entire weekend that I see Maximus. So would I change them? If I was going to change them, I'd probably change them for Super Poly targets, if I'm being honest, but I don't think this is really a format for Super Poly, if I'm being 100% honest. Then we move on to the side deck. So 3 more copies of Old Man Says No with Solemn Strike and Solemn Judgment. Hand traps, I play 2 Drone Lockbird, 2 Artifact Lancia. Drone Lockbird was sided in probably once or twice the entire weekend. Lancia, I put in a lot more work, especially against Dragon Link, Invoke Dogmatica, VW, Orchist. You know, it was a lot better than what the draw was. Well, saying that, I was expecting a lot of Drytron, and there wasn't any Drytron really at all the weekend. And then we've got 2 big round golden nuggets. We've got Wing Dragon of Ra Sphere Mode. This card was superb. Against Dragon Link, my opponents, they kept on going full ham. They kept on waiting on me to be around them, and they just kept on playing, and they would end up bored. Then I would just go chicken nugget, set 5, pass, and that was it. There wasn't any more they could do. They've run through all the resources and stuff, and then just hitting them with that is absolutely amazing. Then, last minute additions for the Sunday was 2 Forbidden Droplets, just to out Dragoon. And as I said from the very beginning, I played one deck that was against Dragoon, so never got sided in at all. I think they got sided in once, and I can't remember what it was for, if I'm being totally honest. Back row hate, 1 Harpy's Feather Duster and 2 Lightning Storm. Harpies never came up. Lightning Storm was sided in once or twice just to be able to blow out a couple of decks and stuff, but I would still main them, still play them in the side deck. Maybe change them out for evenly matches so I could, so it was better against the Outrage matchup, and also you get the trigger of Faker. Now for my spicy tech in the side deck was for my VW matchup was Earth Shattering Event. So if you don't know what this card does, it reads: if a card is sent from the deck to the graveyard, target one card in either player's graveyard, shuffle it into the deck. Also, neither player can send cards from the deck to the graveyard for the rest of the turn. So if your VW player sends one card off to trigger the VW cards, then it gets shuffled back into the deck, and then they can't activate them at all the rest of the turn. So they're basically locked out of their own summoning mechanic, which is extremely good, and then you can start gaining advantage. I seen it once on the Saturday, and I just could not, for the life of me, find a monster. And that's what my opponent said. He said there was no chance that I would be able to do anything against that. So it was a sore one to take, but I feel like theoretically it was extremely good. I think in a combo deck it'd be even better, because obviously you can just set up your board, drop that down, your opponent can't do anything. So if you are going to play combo, maybe try and take this in. I felt like it was a wee bit better than Duel. Duel's just a one-off. I think if you're going first, this is extremely good. If you're going second, then obviously Duel's better to... Not Duel, sorry, Lancia. Lancia's better to hold your opponent up. So that was the side, main and extra deck. So if you've got any questions, please feel free to let me know. If I played you on the Saturday or the Sunday, please drop a comment, because I would love to speak to you guys again, because you were amazing. I don't think we had one bad player or bad egg the entire tournament. You know, everyone was extremely nice, extremely good. Camera quality was really good, and the level of gameplay was absolutely brilliant. So shout outs to NCG, shout outs to Raid and Trade as well. He's ran an amazing tournament, so really it was a brilliant experience for myself. And yep, I really miss playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Playing in these big tournaments just brings it home how much I actually do miss it. Was extremely nervous the entire weekend, I'm not going to lie. So yep, I feel like I've learned a lot over the weekend. You know, I played against a lot bigger players that I probably wouldn't have played against, just in my local scene and stuff like that. So yep, shout outs to every single one of these, and yep, that's the deck profile, everyone. So I just remind you, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. It really does help me out. Drop it a like if you like this kind of video and you want to see more gameplay, test hands, whatever. Just leave a comment, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Cheers everybody, peace.